Morning everyone, and it's Tommy Oldham here, Tommy Oldham. Big hello, and it's another away day today. It's Wealdstone away. First of all, big shout out to all my new subscribers. I'm now past 500. I appreciate every one of you, and keep watching and enjoying the content. Now, back to the game today, and we're still on a high from Tuesday night's 2-1 win away at Kidderminster. I've just been watching it again, the highlights. Reed taking a goal, what a ball in from the kitchen. I can't believe I didn't pick up on that in the last video. I'll tell you what, he's not just good at running on his crosses, his overall distribution of the ball, and we need to get a song for him going. Obviously we're all on a high. I've never known a game where so many fans last minute said, I'm coming down, I want to go down. On the back of that, we've sold out away allocations at both Rochdale and Fylde this week. It's phenomenal how many people have just suddenly got the buzz back to watch Oldham, and it's always been there. We've had the build up with Frank, and now it's a continuation. Obviously, I've just read that Daryl Clark's took the job at Cheltenham, so he's out the running. But hey, today, Tomo's still in charge with Redders. I'm hoping to make it 4 wins in a row. Good luck to Ashton United, Curzon Ashton, Hyde United, and also Macclesfield, who is still in the FA Cup. I know I did a piece on the last video. It's the final round of qualification, so it'll be interesting to see who we get on Monday. By the time I'm back from Wealdstone, we'll have an idea of who's left in the draw, who we can get. So anyway, I need to get down there now and get Tretz. Looking forward to seeing a lot of faces. I'm not going to lie, no away breakfast today. I'm going to get in that car and sleep, but my way tunes I've got lined up, the Skylights, I should have been watching them tonight in concert in Leeds, but the train strike's put an end to that. The Shed Project's a brilliant band from Bolton. The band called Pascal I saw in Manchester in a small venue, and 1 week later they were supporting Liam Gallagher at Nebworth. Anyway, I'll share them links near so you can check their music out. Anyway, it's Wealdstone bound. The town of Chinleys, I'm reading that this is actually getting demolished, I think, this weekend. Another sign of the town's industrial era over from what put this town part on the map in the many years. So said Wealdstone themselves actually have a big history, and to be fair, I've planned to do one of my football nostalgia videos at Jack Ross and the Fail, but I've really not had chance to yet because obviously the timing of the games and everything. But sit back and listen here. Obviously there's a small time in non-league where Wealdstone themselves were a bit of a money bags. Yes, they were owned by David Morritt, and they were the first team to win a non-league double, which was the National League when it's called the Football Alliance, and the FA Trophy. Obviously I've mentioned last year both Stuart Pearce and Finney Jones started the careers there. Finney Jones couldn't even get into the double winning side, but he got bought by Wimbledon only weeks after there was a televised FA Cup tie with Reading, and he was involved in a 22-man brawl. So you can also see now where his acting career has come from. Also, obviously, coincidence you may say, whatever happened. Jermaine Beckford, obviously who went to Leeds, Jermaine Beckford, he also played at Wealdstone before Leeds signed him, scoring many goals there. But back in the 80s, Wealdstone won. Obviously I said they won the double, which was a goal, now National League and the FA Trophy. And the side was aging, they had gates of barely 1,000. But obviously, the time they had the money bags, it wasn't as expected. The fairy tale soon came to an end. Morris left the club. They left the club badly in the shit. Reminds me a little bit of Chris Moore. They had to sell their ground, Lower Mead, where by all accounts the atmosphere was something special, especially for non-league side. Only just because basically then they had numerous ground shares in Harrow. They actually played at Vicarage Road for 2 seasons, home of Watford, and they were paying 20k a match. Basically, Watford chairman at the time screwed Wealdstone. They also felt betrayed by the club's own solicitors at the time, made a killing off them. They went to court in 1994 for the club to remain in existence. Obviously, once the sale of Lower gone through, it went wrong for Wealdstone. They were in administration in 1992 and were kept alive by a group of around 200 fans who refused to let the club die. Obviously, all sorts of fundraising happened to keep the club going, and while this happened, the team didn't just collapse. They were relegated in 1988, they were relegated again in 1992, and would have been relegated again in 1994 had it not been for Dunstable resigning from the Southern League. They voluntarily demoted itself 2 divisions in 1995 to save money, so they were still then in the ship from what had happened previously. And basically at this point, they were 4 levels below where they once been and were ground sharing with Edgware after a short spell ground sharing at Yeading, and failed to achieve promotion in 1996. And they were called Britain's worst run football club. But this hardcore group of fans refused to let Wealdstone die. And basically some people called them delusional, arrogant. One man and his dog knew Wealdstone was special. That's a quote from an article I found. The potential, the passion, the belief that they could keep this club going, and it made it fighting for. And a man named Gordon Bartlett knew that too. He'd already won the FA Finals and taken tiny Yeading all the way to the Eastman Premier Division, one below the conference. He also had an FA Cup run with Yeading under his spell. It took 3 division demotion because he knew that in Harrow, the only team in that area were Wealdstone, who had potential. And the bandwagon become promotion in 1997, promotion in 1998. What would have been a third straight promotion in 1999 if it wasn't only for non-leagues ground grading rules, something I picked up on about Kidderminster, Stevenage and Macclesfield in the other video. And at this time, the club run by the people or their heads was still ground sharing, the chance to deny to grow commercially. This continued all the way through to 2008 when Wealdstone acquired the lease at Grosvenor Vale Russet where they play now. They'd actually agreed a deal to play at the Hive, but they were gas slumped by both Barnet and Harrow Council, who then sold the lease of Prince Edward Playing Fields, Cannons Park, to the Bees, despite Wealdstone having completed 30% construction of the new stadium here. So to think when they finally get their own ground, they start work on it, and they've had it took off them. Obviously, over the years in London, a lot of clubs have lost the ground, and obviously it's become more expensive to build, and obviously lots of them have been sold off for development. And often, obviously, Tory councils who couldn't give a damn about sporting or health consequences just see profit. And other teams that have similar suffered of this are Henfield, Hendon, Kingstonian, but Wealdstone have kept on going, they've survived, and the fans are the ones that have said, yeah, this club will not die. And Bartlett, who's apparently put other options and ambitions and opportunities to manage his career, stuck with Wealdstone, despite having no funds to really buy players. So it's his love for the club and his own personal ambition to take this club further came before paychecks. And basically, he could have ended up managing in the Football League with a wealthy club. The fact that they were offered there, but he's worked and guiding through the players. In 2004, Wealdstone somehow made all the way to Anfield in the FA Youth Cup, an amazing achievement. 5-1, never forgotten night at Dulwich. Bartlett also somehow kept the Stones in the Southern and Eastern Premier League without having the money to go out and buy players where some of the teams in that division were spending money for fun. But it's all changed at Wealdstone at the Vale. The club could grow sustainably and now have new supporters to building a new fan base alongside those that kept growing. They had an amazing FA Trophy run which took them to the semi-finals in 2012, a football style compared to that of Wenger's Arsenal. The polar opposite of how the Stones won the double in 1985, and they've rose up through the division, clinching the title in 2014. Obviously, Bartlett finally stepped down in August 2017. He'd been in the job for 22 years. That's unheard of a lot now in football. Obviously, we can look at our glory years under Joe Royal, and there's the amount of time he spent at Oldham, what he did there. But he also says none of this could have been achieved by his assistant Leo Morris. Also, he praises people like Paul Rumens, Howard Crass, Peter Werby, Roger Slater, Dominic Whitley, and an absolute host of other people who've contributed. And his commitment through the bad and the good times to seeing Wealdstone are the club, are the fans. The platform all the fans Bartlett built have improved, and every year it's been solely building on success. 5 years promotion to the National League proper was achieved under Dean Brennan. With Brennan having departed for Barnet halfway through last season, Wealdstone are now playing under Stuart Maynard. And this is despite them being a part-time club in the league. Obviously, we all know the majority of teams in the National League are now full-time clubs. And basically, they're pushing their weight and they're standing up to teams like ourselves, Halifax, Chesterfield, Notts County, Southend, Torquay relegated, Hartlepool, Rochdale, and obviously other clubs who haven't survived like Yeovil and Torquay who have dropped down. But Wealdstone are one of these that they've become used to being the underdog. They've become used to fighting every obstacle that's come their way. And basically, people talk about making films, talk about Netflix doing a TV series. I'll tell you what, other than just being famous for the Wealdstone Raider, this club has gone through all sorts, and that would make a great TV series or a movie. Hell, even Dream Team could use it to bring back the TV show. Hopefully today's game will be an entertaining game. Wealdstone last season beat us 2-1 at Boundary Park, but we drew 2-2 away at Grosvenor. They finished 13th in the table and they're still a part-time club, but they used the low market really well. Obviously, since last season, they've lost goalkeeper Samuel Howells to Leyton Orient, and partway through last season, lost one of their main goal scorers, Rice Brown, to Oakeney, bagged at Boundary Park. Obviously, they've completed a permanent signing of Charlie Barker from Charlton, who'd been on loan the previous season. Also, look out for key players such as Bowen, Campbell, Ferguson, and if he's fit, Matt's Kurt Sharma. Wealdstone are currently 13th, having played 12 games, scoring 14, conceding 8. They've lost 5, won 4, drawn 3, and all of their wins have come at home. But let's go down there and let's leave no stone unturned and let's weld ourselves out a victory. Go on, Oldham. It's Jim just walking to the... Arrived at Wealdstone Main at Grosvenor Vale. I was expecting a bit of more of a tougher game today than we did on Tuesday. Wealdstone had a good win the other day against Woking. They've actually only won 4 games this year. It's our second visit here. Last year we drew with them here 2-2. We lost at home. Not forget, it was a bit of a boggy pitch. It was a Tuesday night. Nuttall played his best game in an Oldham shirt. I'm not expecting much in changes from the team. Probably the same start line, obviously with Gardner being injured if he's not fit. Who comes in, I'm not sure. Hopefully we can go right at him. We can make it 4 wins in a row. Just keep building and keep doing what we're doing so far, which is winning games, scoring goals and playing football. Loads of last minute fans have come down. It's met since 600, 700 fans, so come on, up the ticks, up the blues. Come on, Oldham. Let's go out all blazing guns and let's leave no stones unturned. Will, one of the main Oasis lads down south, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
First met Brentford on the tube that time, singing the Voto songs.
Bloody hell, yeah.
Are you happy to see the back of Unsworth?
Pardon?
Happy to see the back of Unsworth?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
And what do you make of Thompson so far?
Well, he's beaten the teams in front of him, which is all you can ask. Whether he's the right man for the job permanently, I'm not sure. In fact, I'd prefer Redfern as the number 1 and Thompson as number 2. So if it doesn't go right with Redfern, you've got Thompson coming in again.
Yeah. And how's the vibe today compared to 2 weeks ago at Bromley?
Sorry.
How's the vibe today compared to 2 weeks ago at Bromley?
The vibe today is about 100% better. The real problem it was an intense sort of, concentrated vibe of hatred at Bromley last year because it was exactly 1 year to the day almost since the last time we were in Bromley, and we were sitting in the pub and we knew that we were going to get beat because the team didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah, I've never known such a negative vibe pre-game. Anyway, thank you for that, pal.
All right.
It was great to see the Wealdstone Raider again, or Gordon Hill by his real name. I've This is not the first time I've met him. Let's say what his prediction was. I heard he's been hospitalised recently, but great to see him. And appreciate him taking the time out to come and make a prediction, have a photo. It's good to see a few Oldham fans get a photo with him. Let's not forget, he made his name by having a few beers and just saying, "You want some? You got no fans?" And sometimes people like him get a lot of uncalled for negative rubbish spouted on social media. I can say firsthand when I did that Bad Bible video, something I've never played off. It's the only reason I've actually read some of the comments, and some people are just better. But Gordon, cheers, thanks for that. Let's have a watch what he has to say now. The legendary Wealdstone Raider, what's your prediction for today's game?
Unfortunately, I think you're going to beat us about 2 or 3-1.
Oh, well, let's hope it's a good game. Good to see you. Well, thank you. Apart from today, all the best for the season. Wealdstone away, come on Oldham. Let's have a win today. Let's make it 4 in a row.
Get into him! Move up!
I know what's going to happen. They know I've been to the football. I'm going to come in on Monday. Big black eye. Danny's been fighting. I thought you did say once this.
Ward, clear it. It's number 20 is running rings round us. And 19.
Get out!
This cheese dog looks absolutely mega. Looking forward to it. It's half time, it's 1-1, 1-0 when we scored it. It's a run of playing from the mistake. I thought we're lucky. Dave got back into it, to be fair, these should be 3 or 4-1 up. They're all over us, we're weak in midfield. I expect Lundstrom to come on soon. Their number 20 and 19 is causing us all sorts of problems. At the moment, we gladly take a point. Hopefully, refreshing at half time. Good half time talk, a few changes, and we can come back out and win this. Come on, Oldham. Frankfurt sticker on the wall.
You know, hey, maybe I should start getting stuck in.
Go on, chase. Hey.
He's just letting him have a go there.
Hey. See if Lundstrom can do now. He's been trying out for him for weeks in the field.
Switch on. Got you on.
Yeah, he's had it.
And two is really struggling at the moment. Maybe we can capitalise on it. He's limping when he's walking.
I don't know, I thought other than one of our last home games, so a couple for it. Yeah. That's rubbish, actually.
Well, they're challenging. Sloppy that.
Go past as well, that would all stop the drawing.
More blues. Snatch a winner.
That one's up. 6 to 8 yards out.
Oh.
One.
Obviously, a point away from home isn't a bad result, and especially when you've been second best majority of the game and on the bad foot. Obviously, we scored early on from Reed after an error from their defenders. Basically, we took advantage and capitalised on it. Sometimes you need to roll, you look at times, have that little bit of luck. But overall, it wasn't the best performance. It wasn't worth seeing a lot far worse on the Runsworth. Maybe we had sets we actually came up against a better team. For me, obviously, the midfield was weak again. It didn't work for Shelton and Sheeran, who looked a lot more comfortable when Lundstrom come on. It wasn't Green's best performance, but it wasn't his worst. Obviously, I mentioned a lot last season how we like that play with creativity and flair. And in recent games, we've seen that from Green. But he's also that old school sort of player that will just pick a ball out and take a shot when a chance falls to him. Obviously, Wealdstone saw how good he's been recently and kept him out of the game. I thought towards the end of the game he struggled a bit. He was a little hesitant towards at the end. I still firmly feel we miss Garner. We need that midfield general, that someone who shows a bit of authority, who can dictate play, someone who'll break play down. Hobson was my man of the match today. I thought, again, he played really well. I feel for Sutton because Sutton didn't play bad, but he's not a right back. And Wealdstone identified this as our main weakness and also tried to exploit it. Hudson kept us in the game, but even he looked a bit nervy at times as the game went on. I do expect changes on Tuesday. I think one of the reasons we should say was this cluster of games, they were tied up. We've had a manager change and Thompson has gone into the deep end and he has performed, turning it around. Like, tell me 4 games unbeaten a month ago, you'd have snapped your hand off. But obviously, some fans were annoyed at that he's staying. I think it was a little OTT at times. I didn't boo Sheeran, and to be fair, I didn't really hear that many boos myself. I heard there was a small minority, and it's just a case of while we can get behind the team. Also, Garner's injured, we did miss him, but I think there is potential for him and Lundstrom. Good to see Lundstrom back on the pitch, and I think it'll take a few games. Obviously, it didn't quite work with Reed and Willoughby. And the other thing is going back to Norwood, and I can understand his frustrations on Runsworth's negative tactics, and he caused him some problems, but for me, he needs to up his work rate a bit more. I understand he's not had the service he wants, but at the same time, he needs to put himself a bit more about, show a bit more aggression. I think once he looks sharper and them goals start flying, we'll see, obviously, the best of him. For me, obviously Reed starts on Tuesday. It's who we partner alongside him. Unpopular opinion, but again, I'd probably go with Nuttall myself. I think obviously Willoughby just didn't quite get into the game yesterday, but we've seen so far he can play. We've seen him as an impact player. And obviously Thompson's still trying to get it right. And I think a few players will need a rest because people say, oh, we played all these games and like when we're in the FL, the Checkatrade Trophy in the League Cup, you forget cup games, you've got to rotate, experiment. League games, you can't afford that gambling. Maidenhead is a game, again, we should be winning, and a point isn't a bad one as long as you follow it up with a win. Now, going back to Wealdstone, they played really well. I thought that Abdullah Malik and Bowen were two standout players. Obviously, people saying they're only part-time, but they recruit well, and they look to find the best part-time players they can. They've got quite a few loanees. Obviously, that Campbell's on loan who played up front, who caused us problems. But don't forget, part-time in London isn't like part-time working at McDonald's. Some of them will be still on decent money. And let's not forget when Ernie Cooksey played for Oldham, he always said he could have earned more money working part-time and still playing football, part-time as a roofer and playing football than he did. But he didn't. He chose to come to play for football for Oldham because he wanted to try and get into the professional game. Obviously, there's work to be done. I won't be surprised to see Freeman coming back in or Raglan. Raglan obviously got the run out at the end yesterday. And I'm not looking at it too much on a downer. Obviously, like everything Oldham, we got hopes up. We wanted 4 wins in a row. We didn't, but we're in a better place now than we were last month. Hello everyone, Tommy Oldham here, and here's a quick look ahead to today's FA Cup 4th round qualifying draw in which we enter. So let's leave no stone uncovered. Following up at a list of teams we could potentially play in the cup. Obviously at this stage it's split between North and South, although because of like geographical ways, teams uneven number of the South. There are a few what you would call southern based teams in the northern draw. There's also quite a few tasty local sides. So having a look at the teams, and there's quite a good mix of sides. Obviously there's only 30 teams in the northern, there's more teams in the south. Obviously there's a bit of a mixed split. The early rounds have some like north, south, southwest, east, the way the qualification. I'm not pretty clued up, the teams change it year on year, but obviously there is a chance we could get, although it's the north, there is teams towards the south. Obviously Kettering in Northamptonshire we're familiar with. Biggleswade, which is near Luton. Sporting Grumsgrove is Birmingham, but we play with Chelmsford from Essex. It's actually a team we did play in the 90s at home. I wouldn't mind going there on an away day. Obviously, you've also got Peterborough Sports who played in the FA Trophy last year. They've got a replay at home to Needham Market, another team from East Anglia. Up in the north east, obviously you've got Blythe Spartans. Obviously, other National League sides such as Gateshead, Hartlepool. Personally, I don't really want to draw a team in our league. It's the fun of the FA Cup. It's all about the magic of the FA Cup. Obviously, we've got Rochdale on this level for the first time ever. Both Ashtons, Ashton United occurs in Ashton. I'd like to see them both draw each other. I just think it'll give an extra incentive. It'd be a good game, so especially for the neutral as well. One game at this level does get screened by the BBC on its website. My personal preferences would either be Whitby away, Marine away, Scarborough away, or the lowest ranked team left in it, which is Leek Town. For me, I just think it's the magic of the FA Cup, somewhere different. Most away games in it are not going to be big allocations, as we know. But at the end of the day, if you've got those that have gone to teams in the past, have enjoyed it, your likes of Chase Town, Thurrock, Kidderminster when they were non-league, Barrow when they were non-league. Obviously, didn't go Kettering either, but a lot of people actually didn't go Chase Town, said that was a good away day. And anyway, let's just have a quick look at some of the southern teams left in it. Obviously, we can't draw them at the moment, but interesting to see, especially for our Oasis lads down south, if we do get into the first round proper, who we could possibly draw. So Leek Town, the lowest ranked team left, especially in the northern section. Kettering Town in there. We played them in 2006, 1-4-3. Sean Gregan made his debut and Chris Orr got a last minute winner. Stourbridge, they're in the Midlands, they're not far from Kidderminster. So I know a lot of people saying Ashton and Curzon. To be fair, yeah, they'd be both good sides, but I'm a bit more imaginative. I still like the FA Cup to be a team who we've never played before, someone different. That's the magic of the cup. But anyway, let's have a winnable tie. and I'll review the draw in the next story of the Blues. Come on, Oldham, see you on the terraces. So, after all that, we've drawn Oldham away. I won't say it's a magical tie that I wanted, personally. I said the FA Cup for me is about playing teams in different divisions, going to these little unknown places that you're more than likely never going to visit again. Saying that, we said that about teams once in the National League, and look where we are now. But however, there's still positives. It'll be the third away game in a row after Rochdale and Fylde that we should sell out. It's on a Saturday, so it does make up for potentially those local away games that have been shifted for a Tuesday. Easy to get to by tram, because have a few beers in Manchester, jump on. And Oldham itself isn't a bad place for drinking. So let's roll on. I still expect us to take like that big good following. I've actually just looked overall at the ties and there's not many inspiring ties. And obviously I'm a football fan, football geek, football nerd, football virgin, call whatever the hell you want, I don't care. But I have a big overall through of football. And even looking at that round of ties, both north and south, there isn't really many standout ties, which I think could put us in the running for it to be shown on BBC the early kickoff, which to stream. Also, it's a grand final at Old Trafford, so trams are going to be hammered, so that's another thing to bear in mind. There is that possible chance, maybe of it being an early kickoff, or even a Friday or a Sunday game, but the club have already said it's Saturday the 14th, so it makes me guess, unless it's a stream game, it's not going to be changed. But I suppose looking at the ties, one of them, Chesterfield Kettering's got a bit of it, because Kettering were for many years the National League club. I've got a feel for both Curzon, both Ashton United, Kidderminster and Stourbridge, who all four missed out on derbies by simply one ball. But that's the look of the draw at the end of the day. Obviously, I'm going to show you now the draw for both the northern section and of course both the southern section. Some of it would have written us off, right? Under Unsworth, I'd have been a bit nervy going into this, but yeah, the 4 points clear, but there are only a few places for us in the table. This is still a winnable tie by far. You know, magic of the cup, a bit of positivity, a bit of optimism, people. Obviously, we've got quite a few league games before that. Here goes anyway. Good luck to Junior Lubamba, who's now joined Salford City. He's got into their B team. Good luck, he was a player that them goals at Sutton and Scunthorpe were good, but unfortunately can't live off that. I do feel, had we not been took over when we did, he probably would have had more football when Chevs was trying to string the squad together. No, bad luck for me. Obviously, I wish him all the well. And now it's time to say farewell. Good luck. Let's hope we get that win we need on Tuesday. See you on the terraces. Come on, Oldham. Thanks for watching, everyone.